Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Megan, and I'm back again. Look at me, filming videos. I'm back with another book in my Stephen King project, reading one chapter at a time, going through all of Stephen King's books in chronological order. Today I will be talking about The Eyes of the Dragon. So first off, I know that this book came out in 1984, but my version came out in 1987, so that's why I'm reading it after it, which came out in 1986. And mine has actual illustrations in it, which I thought was really cool. As I try to struggle to find where there is an illustration to show you. But while I do that, here we are. Has an illustration. There's a bunch of illustrations in this one. I think it's a really cool edition, and I really like it, as well as really liking the book. So let's get started. So I rated this 5 stars. I think this is the first book I've ever rated of his to date that's 5 stars. From the 70s to now. I have read some of his other stuff, like his other works, but not for this project. But I'll be rereading it for this project. And I might have given 5 stars for that, but to date, as of 1987, this is 5 stars for me. I enjoyed every single moment of this book. King does a really good job of writing fantasy, and I think that's why I really like the Dark Tower series as well, because I think he's very good at creating a world and creating this really cool fantasy world, and that's kind of what this was, where you have 2 brothers. It was Peter and what was the other one's name? It's been a little while since I read it. Oh, Thomas. So you have Peter and Thomas, who are brothers, and they lose their father, and Peter is basically charged for killing his brother, or his father, but it's not conclusive that he's the one that did it. And then you have these other characters, like you have Flag, and you have someone named Roland, which I'm like, is this related to the Dark Tower series? But I don't think it is. I think there's mentions of these characters in later Dark Tower books. But as far as my Googling after I read it, because I didn't want to Google it while I was reading it to spoil myself, there's not really much connection otherwise, because Randall Flagg is the actual character, whereas it seems like they're 2 different characters in this one. But Flagg's was always a very interesting character, because we never really knew much about him, and he would kind of float in and float out, float in and float out. And then you're like, well, what the heck? As we got further into the book, I started questioning. I was like, he's a very interesting character. I wouldn't be surprised if what had happened to their father, who was the king of where they're from, Delane, I believe that's what it was called. And I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if he was the one that was behind it all. So you're basically back and forth between getting to know the brothers and getting to trying to figure out who did what and what does where, and I just enjoyed the pacing. I thought it was so fast paced. If I wasn't reading this 50 pages a week, I would have probably devoured it really quickly. So I kind of like that my project gave it to me, that I was reading it 50 pages at a time, because it really let me sit with the story and let me go through the story in a way that I probably wouldn't have if I was just gonna read it and just go through it really quickly. I feel like I appreciated it a lot more. Also, I really think this is the first book that I truly liked how it ended. It felt really deserved, it felt really well written, and it was really beautiful and heartwarming as well. The brothers were separated for so long, and then you have them come together, and then you see them work together, and then how it all plays out, which I don't want to spoil it because it's so good, but it's just I thought it was such a good ending, and I'm like, King's never written such a good ending. Obviously this kind of was they floated into the sunset, and they kind of went their own ways, and there could be so much more that could have been done. It doesn't really feel final, and I'm not a person who is really big on I can't say that word, but the endings that are left open, I'm not a big fan of those, but it worked here, because it was well, what else can you say? So I thought it was just really well done. So I just had such a good time with this. I'm sad that there's no adaptation for this one as of yet. It looks like they had tried to do some adaptations in the past, but they have all fallen through. So I'm like, maybe one day there will be one, because this was so good. I'm like, why? Why is there nothing to watch from this? Maybe because it's just so good they can't adapt it. It's kind of like the Dark Towers where they tried to do that like how many years ago now. I mean, I haven't watched the movie yet. I want to do it after I finish watching finish rereading all the Dark Tower books, but I heard that was a major flop. So I'm like, maybe King doesn't translate well to fantasy on film. I don't know. Now I'd be kind of worried about it being filmed because I'm like, this was just too good. Nothing's gonna live up to it. But if you've read this, like, let me know, because I'm just like, it was just so good. Great characters, great plot, amazing pacing, and an amazing ending. King really knocked himself out of the park with this one. So I just love it. I don't know what else to say about it. That's what happens when you love something. You're just like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Short and sweet. I don't know. So that just leaves me with telling you what my next read is, and that will be Thinner, which he technically wrote as Richard Bachman. So this is a Bachman book, which, yes, also, I know, was released in like 84 or something. But you know how hard it was to find this book? Super hard. I don't know why it was so hard to find. So I finally have it in my possession. I've already started it. But I hope to be finished it sometime in March. So I will hopefully have a video for this sometime within the next month or two. So be on the lookout for that. But that is all I have for you guys. So if you've read Thinner, if you've read Thinner, don't spoil it for me. Just say you've read it. But if you've read Eyes of the Dragon, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, a like, a subscribe, and do your thing. And I will see you all in my next video. So thanks, and bye, guys.